Hello everyone, welcome to my new Berserk build. Um, this is set up almost where I need it now. A couple of improvements, and I'll go through that as usual. Now we're going to use Demolitionist. That is for the extra explosive damage, which ties into Spark, and it's also for ignoring an explosion once every 60 seconds, because that's really useful against those big grenadiers. Now we're going to use our Cetar. I love this gun. It's got strained, extra, and it has grease. Now I wish it had protected reload, but I just don't have one that I can put that onto right now. It's still a really good weapon. I'm not sure. I don't think I've got anything that's worthwhile apart from that, but I'll have a look at that in a bit. Yeah, so it's strained. Love the rate of fire on it. 16.9k damage. Extra, prefer that over Allegro. And greased, as I say, would prefer protected reload, just to give myself a bit more survivability. We're using this literally for brutality. 5% chance to deal 100% damage as explosive damage. It works. It's up 90-100% of the time, just because of how fast that gun fires. 50 in the mag, we can just absolutely hit them with criticals and explosive damage and really ramp our damage up. Last one I'm using just for in rhythm, just to try and get my defender drone and revive hive back quicker. Okay, that is it. Now we've got a few perfect things on this. This is punch drunk. We've got 48% damage to elite and 18,000 health. I would like that health to be a bit higher, but this is where we are. And headshots growing 20% headshot damage for 2 seconds, 5 seconds with marksman rifles. So when we use our AR, we beam them in the head because we're always in their face, and we get an extra 20% damage all the time. Pretty much always up. So you've got that 20%, plus you've also got this. Damaging enemies with skills or explosives grant 15% weapon damage for 15 seconds. So we've basically got 35% additional damage up all the time. This is the bit that needs replacing. I'm not happy with it, to be honest. If I could get one of the strategic alignments with the vital on and the reds I need, or the health I need, that'd be great. Or another 511 to get extra incoming healing or something. But I mean, I get the 10% explosive damage from here, I know, but this is not ideal. I'd like a red slotted backpack, Spark and Vital, or Perfect Spark and Vital with a good weapon damage on. This has got weapon damage of 4% and critical hit chance of 7%. So these are not god rolled items I'm using, but it still does a lot of damage. Next, we've got Ferocious Calm. This is the one I've got. I'm looking for a better one, but obviously I get my 10% assault rifle damage from Fenris, 6% headshot damage, which ties into a concussive. I've put 57,000 health on that because we're looking at health, not armor. This is a berserk build, and 11% critical hit chance. It wasn't badly rolled, but the health was low, and I need to put on that. If it just had a 40,000 health on it, I would have put a high weapon damage on here and ramped my weapon damage up. But this is where we are right now. It's got perfect berserk, so 10% weapon damage for every 20% of max armor depleted. That means you want your armor lower because that procs quicker, and you're never going to get the full 50%. You're probably going to be on 40% because you're always going to get some armor back from clutch, but we'll go through that. Capacitive, 50%, but also with that normal berserk maxes out at 40%. So this is another, it's at max of the normal berserk, and if you can get all your armor off, another 10%. It's really good. Right, it's got capacitive. I wish it had either damage to elite or vital on, so I could change my other things around. But even destructive maybe, just for the explosive damage. But this is not great capacitive. It does help with the defender drone. Obviously, we get 50% skill duration on a defender drone, so it's helpful there, but not ideal. And in that one, we put weapon damage, assault rifle damage, and damage to health. So 6% extra assault rifle damage and 1% extra damage to health. So a total of 30% damage to health because we're using an AR. D&H holster, I spent a lot of time looking for this. You want to find one without a talent on. You want at least the 12, 13, 14% critical hit chance, so you can put a 45,000 health on it. It's got to be a double stat with a high crit hit chance if you want to make this proper clutch build with your health. Comes with a red mod slot too. So this one's got a total of 17% critical hit chance. And it comes with another 1.5 weapon damage and 1% headshot damage. So it all ties in perfectly to this build. Next up on the knee pads. And we're using this as the third piece of D&H, so we get our accuracy, critical hit damage and critical hit chance. I've got 9% critical hit chance and 25% damage to elites on here. I used to use this one with health on kill, but because of the ferocious calm losing damage to elites, I've had to put my damage to elites here. I'd actually prefer the damage to elites on my ferocious calm, so that I could still use this with a 30% health on kill. Really helps on a clutch build, the extra percentage on kill. But as I said, beggars can't be choosers. Sorry, it comes in with, I put the critical hit chance, headshot damage and weapon damage on there again. Next perfect piece, Death Grips, 511. Now, 5% protection from elites, yeah. 1.5% critical hit chance and 11% assault rifle damage. I can get that to 12 at some point, that's fine. Perfect clutch, 25% of missing health and 2% of missing armor repaired every critical hit. Now, consider the fact that I've got a mag of 50 and I critical hit 60% of the time. So what's that quick? Like 30 bullets in every single mag, more than one every 2 bullets obviously. We're getting 25% of our health back. And it does work. You'll see it in a second. It's ridiculous. If I could get the 30% health on kill though, I'd be really, really happy with that. As I said, this was my bit that let me down. I'd actually like this to be a Fenris. So I got a bit more protection from elites. That'd work really well. I'm looking at changing this round to be a 3-piece Fenris if I can get the really high crit hit rolls so that I get more health on kill as well. And that'll actually get me 6 talents over those 3 items. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5, 6 talents. And we can put out what we want to. Keep those clutch, keep that. And we'll probably keep this as a 2-piece D&H, 1-piece 511. And then 3-piece Fenris. This is what I'm really looking to do. But this, as I said, does a lot of work. We go through the stats. 16.9k on the primary, 900 RPM, 183k armor, and 232k health on just 4 blues. That's really good. I mean, look at those high rolls we've got there. This can be improved, but I could probably get this above 250 if I got the right rolls. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. My stats, spike isn't active, but who cares? That's just for that pistol. Weapon damage you went through, 16.9 it says, well 16,872, we'll call it that. 60% critical hit chance with 40% critical hit damage. I'd like that to be a bit higher. 63% headshot damage. But we had concussive to that, so we can get to 83% headshot damage. That's big on this build because you're in people's face. Just beam those headshots. This CTAR hardly moves. Actually, plus 5%. I've got the reload speed back because of the thing. Don't worry about that. 50% assault rifle damage. Really good on this because in fact I've got 60% on my crit. 83% damage to elites. That of course can be higher. So we are at an additional 35% explosive damage. So we're at 135% when brutality hits. And health damage of 30%. So as soon as their armor's gone, they drop quick. This is a really, really good build. I'll show you all where we are there. I am also working on, let's see, all these are active. I just got a pistol in my hand. I'm currently working on getting a 100% hazard protection one, but that's going to be a new one. This one here, I've used in the raid. It still does work because it doesn't matter what they do to you. You're getting that health back all the time. Now, if I just show you here, Got it unnamed on here. So your armour is already going up. Look at this health and armour drop. There's all my health and armour off. There you go. 2.1, 2.2 million DPS. And all my health back in like half a mag. My damage is dropping there. But if you look on the right, left hand side, bottom, you'll see how quickly I get my health back. And you'll see the damage. 136,000 in a shot there. One last time. All my health off here, and you'll see everything procking down the bottom down there. There you go, sparks procced. Hurt ourselves. And you see spark keep refreshing. My damage is dropping, believe it or not, because my arm's coming up. Usually I'd be right in their face in combat, hitting them hard. It's easy. A good 2 mil DPS on this build with all that survivability. One-on-ones, yeah, it's not an issue. The problem you have with this build, I'll fully come clean, is if you get hit from all sides. So 3 or 4 people hit you from all sides, you're not going to be able to stay up because you can't hit them all, and they're going to be hitting you harder than you can hit that. Of course, harder than you can hit one person. That's the same for any build, really, though, to be fair. And the next part is explosions. That's why we have that grenadier on, that demolitionist on. We can ignore one, but you've got to be careful of those explosions because they hit so hard on heroic. They're going to almost drop you in one hit. So you've got to be careful of that, especially if they're fire grenades. They hit you, explode, then turn you on fire. You're going to die if you're not very careful. So that's why I'm going to work on that hazard protection. But, yeah, small things for improvement, but really happy this is my go-to build in the raid. Okay, thank you very much. Please like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all soon.